Hello, everyone. Nobody wants to jump out of the frying pan into the fire. Yet when it comes to retirement and relocating, that's exactly what some people unknowingly do. That said, today I'm going to share some super important points to consider and some honest questions I think you should ask yourself before you pack up your life from where you are presently and head off to some so-called dream destination. Welcome back to Rebel Retirement, where we talk about all things retirement and how you can determine what you value through a just-in-time retirement mindset. Let's dive in. Number one, the cheapest places to retire. We've all seen those articles. Top 10 cheapest places to retire in the US, or retire for pennies on the dollar. They sound enticing, and who wouldn't want their retirement dollars to stretch further? But let's peel those headlines back a little bit. The truth of the matter is that many of these so-called affordable havens are in impoverished states where people are actually leaving in droves. Why are they leaving? Because of crime, lack of opportunity, or even poor infrastructure. And while you may not be looking for a job in retirement, you are looking for quality of life. Think about it. If the people who grew up there are moving away, what are you moving into? Will cheap rent or low property taxes make up for unsafe neighborhoods, struggling hospitals, or limited grocery options? Sometimes the cheapest place to retire comes with hidden costs, ones you don't see until you're already unpacking your boxes. Number two, are you moving out of necessity? This is a tough one because it's an honest question. Are you moving because you have to? Necessity comes in many forms. Maybe your current situation or cost of living feels unbearable. Maybe you need better access to healthcare. Maybe it's simply that you're chasing lower housing prices because your retirement budget feels tight. There's no shame in that, but here's the trap. Many retirees move out of necessity under false assumptions. They think if I move there, everything will get better. But if the move is driven by desperation rather than a clear plan, the stress of relocation can actually magnify your challenges instead of easing them. And I don't want that for you. Here's a reflection point. Are you running away from something or are you moving towards something? That difference is huge. Number three, are you moving out of desire? So on the flip side, maybe you're moving because of desire. You've always wanted to live near the mountains, or maybe you've been dreaming of a coastal lifestyle, long walks on the beach, fresh seafood dinners, ocean breezes, or a little farmstead. Desire can be powerful, but it can also be deceiving. And I see this all the time, particularly with people moving to Montana. They magically think it's going to improve their life. But once they get here and they see how the climate is, or perhaps they've moved out to a ranch that isn't as close to the amenities that they're accustomed to, or they've moved away from family, they get very unhappy and pick up and leave and go back to where they came from. So they picture an upgraded version of themselves in the new zip code that really, really is very unrealistic. So here's the truth. If you aren't content with where you are now, relocating probably won't fix that. It's like believing a new car will finally make you happy when the real issue is your driving habits. The scenery changes, but you're still you. You're still in the same situation. So ask yourself, is your desire based on reality, or is it fueled by a few vacation memories? Because living somewhere and visiting somewhere are two different things. Number four, will you have a support network? This one's really big. This one's huge. Probably bigger than we give it credit for. Relocating for retirement isn't just about houses and taxes. It's about people. What kind of support network will you have in your new location? Making friends in a brand new environment isn't always easy. Sure, you might join a local club or volunteer group, but real friendships, the kind where someone shows up for you in the middle of the night, might not happen. And if you're moving to be closer to family, that comes with its own dynamics. Proximity can create pressure. Suddenly, you're thrust into a different situation than you anticipated. You're not just grandma and grandpa, you're also free childcare or an emergency taxi. And let's not forget your closest relationship, your spouse. Moving is one of the most stressful life events, right up there with divorce and job loss. How solid is your partnership when the boxes are stacked high and you're wondering if this was a big mistake? I remember standing in a snowy parking lot at the Kalispell Center Mall in Montana talking to a distressed woman about her move to Montana. She said that she and her husband had moved to Montana and she was unable to make friends. She was unable to find a church. She was just really disappointed about the way things had turned out. Things had not turned out the way that she had wanted at all. So we told her we were planning to move there. And the biggest question that she wanted us to consider was, how was our relationship? How were we going to get along? She said that we might have to spend a lot of time together. So please, please, please consider how you and your spouse get along. What are things like between you two? Do you get along if you don't make friends? How is that going to work out? So before relocating, ask yourself, who will have my back? Who will I lean on? And how will this move affect the relationships that matter most? Wrapping this all together, let's bring it full circle. Retirement relocation can be exciting. It can feel like a brand new chapter, but unless you look beneath the surface, it can also land you straight into the fire that you're trying to avoid. Cheapest places aren't always the best places. Moves made out of necessity can sometimes create more problems than they solve. Desires are wonderful, but they need to be grounded in reality, not fantasy. And most importantly, without a strong support network, even the most beautiful place can feel isolating. So before you pack up your life, pause. Ask yourself the tough questions. Is this move about escaping or about creating? Is it about saving money or about building the life you truly want? At Rebel Retirement, we believe retirement isn't one size fits all. It's about your values, your freedom, and your choices. So tell me in the comments, have you thought about relocating for retirement? And what's your biggest concern or your biggest dream? If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. It really helps me grow the channel. Thank you so much for all of your help, and thank you so much to all of you who have already subscribed. I really appreciate it. Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and trust your retirement journey. Thank you for watching. I'm Marlene with Rebel Retirement, and I'll see you next time.